Welcome back, Warpath family. We're back with another video again. Today's video, guys, we're going to talk about what not to do in the field. That means do not frustrate your fellow players inside of the field. Do not make your leadership roles mad because you cannot listen to instructions. If you're new to the game, if you're a novice, barely started, you might want to pay attention to some of these things because they will get super annoying inside of the field. And for some of you guys that maybe haven't thought about a couple of these things, stay tuned to the video, guys. All right, guys, rule number one has to deal with how you train your units or how you deal with reserves inside of the field, okay? Now, most of you guys are going to go out onto the field and you're going to start battling, right? As soon as you start battling, you're going to start losing some troops. Now, here's the key here, okay? I'm going to give a little demonstration. Once you start losing some troops, you're going to click automatically the train button, right? No, don't do that. Why? Because they're going to train inside of your base and then they're going to come straggling along to the unit. Well, guess what? Most of the time, you're not going to be right up against your base. You're going to be way down the field. And guess what? There's going to be probably 50 or 60 people doing the same thing. So what happens is you get these trails all the way from everybody that's right here trailing just like this all the way down here, and it clogs up the entranceway, okay? Nobody can get through because it's a major traffic jam. So if you're fighting, fight with your unit. Once it gets down about halfway into the yellow, what you can do simply, you can pull away. And this guy's a little bit slow, but you can pull away from all of the fighting. Once it comes out of the fighting mode, you can simply click on it. Well, once it gets out of combat, we'll see. You can click on it, click remove. Now look, the unit disappeared from the map. Sometimes the server's a little bit slow. Click on it again, choose it, deploy it, and train it. What that does is it's going to give you a fresh new march for you to send all the way out to fight in. Okay, guys? So, yes, it takes a little bit longer because it wasn't completely dead. Or shoot, man, I don't know, man, make it all the way die if that makes you feel better. But, you know, it saves a little bit on reserves if you just do it when it gets pretty weak. However, what that does is it's only a single march going right here. So if you have 15 people, that's 15 marches going towards the middle of the fight zone, right? Well, what happens if somebody has like units that are just 4 personnel or whatever? Well, that means each unit, it takes off, the next one trains, it takes off, the next one trains, it takes off, the next one trains, it takes off. And before you know it, 15 guys equals 60 plus marches on the field. You look around, you see all these things, you think, oh my God, there's like 300 people on the battlefield, and it's not. 90% of them are reserves, and it annoys everybody, okay? Rule number 2, guys, do not get in other people's way when you are surrounding a base. What do I mean by this? Well, if I take my troop out, you can see as I move it, I can see the hex, okay? Now, the tank is 2 hexes away. Okay, you do not need to get all the way up on it. You can stay back off of it 2 hexes all the way over. And what happens is whenever you go to click and drag onto the base, it will start firing off on the base. Now, why is this important, guys? It's important because you do not want to be the guy who is way back here and there's another guy that's up front and you simply click on the base back here. dragging and going into attack mode, and then the computer just fits anywhere it can and then starts attacking the base anywhere it can. Well, what happens is you either go behind the guy or you get in the way, and then there's another player that does it, and now this player can't move anywhere because you're literally blocking him from doing anything normal because of this hex grid right here. Okay, guys? So if you know that it's 2 grids away, then if he's over here, you come over here to the next grid, and that way if he needs to back off, he can back off. You don't want to lock somebody in. It's super annoying, guys. Next up, guys, we want to talk about if you're the type of player that brings artillery to the field, you have a pretty strong artillery, you're kind of close to your base, you're within, a close distance that you feel comfortable with bringing your artillery onto the field. You definitely want to play an offensive defense type style. And what do I mean by that? It's the same way kind of with campaigns. You're baiting somebody, right? So let's say that you have your attacking unit and then you go to attack something, but then you bring it back. So I'm going to instigate an attack and then I'm going to come back. Well, what happens whenever you play this defensive? Well, when somebody attacks your stuff, watch what happens. So we're going to let it attack me. See how the artillery, it's going to have that countdown and then it's going to attack, right? So the first time always has the countdown. Now, once you are in what we call aggro mode, or you're in a red to the opponent, now every time that he comes out of his base or in the field or anything like that, any of the alliance tries to attack your units, the artillery is going to immediately fire now. Okay, guys? I mean, immediately. So let's try this. Let's do this real quick. That way you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Now watch my artillery. Bam. Did you see that? Instantly hit it. Okay, guys? Now look at that. 3 units, took them out immediately just off of that. I know that's just a bunker and not actually in warfare. But anyway, it instantly fired off. That's because that countdown timer is done. So if you are the type of player that wants to bring artillery out onto the field, guys, and fight with it, you have to know that sometimes you have to back off from the play field a little bit. You have to bring somebody to you to fight. Like you're offensively kind of nicking at them, but you're getting that initial attack over with, and now you have something to gain from it. Now you have no reset timer. You're going to be able to hit him immediately. You're going to get the licks in first. Okay, guys? The final thing, guys, is going to be about be aware of tags, okay? And what do I mean by this? The best way that I could describe it is right here up under your power, right here. When you click this, there's going to be tags right here, okay? If a new tag has been, and you haven't seen it yet, but it's been instituted, it's going to have a red dot right here. That means that you need to always be cautious of this. Why not mail? Well, because you could get a billion mails and you're not going to know, if that's pertaining to a flag or not. But this is the best way right here. So once this turned red, you click it, you can go, boom, we go right over here. See how quick that was? You can go back to your base. You can double click your units, whatever you need to do to fly around. So double click your units, it'll take you there. Click the base, it'll take you there. Click up here, click go, it'll take you there, right? And why are tags so important? Tags are important because leadership is specifically trying to get everybody on the same page because they are power in numbers, okay? So always when you're working the field and you're in battle, you always want to make sure that, one, you're paying attention to the tags, look for them being red right here, and also you need to know how to maneuver the field really quick. I need to bounce from my base, or I need to, be at my unit. I can double click it, be back at my base, be over here at the tag, find out what's happening. You see what I'm saying? And always, always be cautious of what's going around. So when I'm right here, I always have the tendency to back off just a little bit to check to make sure any enemies are not coming up behind. You can also check, because most of the time they're going to be red, you can look for marches that are also coming up behind. Why? Because most of your units might be out into the field, and your base might be, you know, only 1 or 2 units inside of it, and it might be, you know, subjectable to getting attacked a lot. Okay, guys? So you need to know how to work the screens with the tags, the zooms, and also some of the shortcuts. Okay, guys? I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Until next time, peace.